What is up, everybody? Welcome to the feast, episode, what are we on? 112, the show where you submit replays like cast. I'm Delthius. How's it going, everybody? I'm doing pretty good. As always, keep sending me replays to ToothandTailTV at gmail.com. And we got a couple things coming up in the scene. We got the TNT Clan Wars currently being organized. There's going to be some matches this weekend on Sunday being cast by, I believe, Trumpet and Tandor Draco. So that'll be a lot of fun at 12 and 5 o'clock CST. And we've also got QQ organizing a tournament as well. That one's going to be pretty fun. It is a custom map and specific deck tournament where he got a bunch of players to submit a variety of deck lists that they like to play. And I think I'm not sure if he's like finding good map seeds or taking a look through some of the custom maps players have submitted. So that's going to be really cool. Not a lot of details on that just yet. I think he's still in the planning phase of it. So lots of stuff coming up still as 2020 has been winding down. And I've been doing pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm having a great time with it. It's getting a lot of backlash, man. There are a lot of glitches and bugs and things like that. I definitely feel bad for anyone on previous gen consoles. I do agree with that, the PS4 and Xbox One, but I didn't really look at any of the hype or really media content for it, so I kind of went in with no expectations, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, so Clan Wars on Sunday, guys, 12 o'clock PST and 5 o'clock PST. Draco, am I saying that right? Tandor Draco from Lizard Wizard Magic is going to be casting those, and I think Trumpet will be joining them. So that'd be a lot of fun. And all right, let's hop into it. Match number 1. Already spawning at the bottom, we've got Winter Load. Their opponent to the right, Protocam. Alright, some pretty cool decks coming out of both sides here. The Ferret pick from Winter. I'm curious if maybe Winter and Proto played some games. I think that's normally how Ferret picks work. You know, you see your opponent tank things like MG, and you kind of tech that unit into the deck. Meanwhile, Proto's got a pretty sick deck here, man. Boar, Wolf, Turret, Balloon. So that's going to be really cool to see if you'll be able to get that going. Wolf Buff Boar is not something we see too often, so I'd be pretty hyped if we get to see that double tier 3 come out this game. But the Snake Falcon combo from Winter Load, I think those are really strong tier 2 picks at the moment. And this map looks very good for Winter here. You know, 4 Gristmills right here on his side. Protocam does get that natural base. Is a little bit of a pocket. I mean, Winter can kind of weasel his way through here, as you just saw he did with the scout. But more importantly, Protocam rushing with a 6-farm double here. Winter is going to scout that in time and respawn with a 7-farm double. Should be a-okay. Definitely with those squirrels on defense. And I love this from Proto. After he saw that Winter was respawning it, goes ahead and sells off the Warrens, gets the farms going, and rebuilds. Little adjustments like that in the early game can definitely eke you out a bit of an advantage. But so far, kind of a no harm, no foul situation, you know. And let's see how this is going. And by the way, the TNT Preseason 2021 Cup Championships have finished. Check out the main playoff finals on my channel. You can also check out the lower playoff finals over on Tiki Gray's Twitch. If you're interested in seeing those. Both some awesome sets there. I don't want to spoil the results if you haven't been in the loop and don't know who won where. So give those VODs a peek if you're interested. Lots of tier 1 so far, as both players are just getting into those second bases. Pretty safe, you know. Seems like quite a bit of tier 1 at this phase. Like, both players want to expand, but they're taking their time. And want to make sure they don't just get overrun by a bunch of tier 1 of the opponents. And since Protocam does have the lizards, and they are so fast on this somewhat large of a map, you know, he's definitely got a little bit of built-in tempo for when and where he wants to attack. And trying to move out with just snakes against lizards in comparable numbers can be quite difficult. But situations like this, like the squirrels can actually do very nicely, especially if they kind of tuck back a little bit further towards that choke there. It's going to be hard for the lizards to actually get the surface area that they want, and a lot of them will end up attacking the gristmill. So let's see if he dives in. I'd like to see these squirrels back just a little bit farther into this hole here, but gonna take the engagement. And that looks pretty good for Protocam. I think the squirrels were just a little bit too far forward. Lots of damage getting done here from Protocam. Forced a sell on one of the pigs, kills another pig, forces a tier 2 to get sold as well. More and more bacon being harvested here for Proto as another pig goes down. What's up, Tosh, man? Good to see you. Thanks for the raid, man. So just pure lizard so far for Protocam, but look at this from Winterlow going into that badger. Now this kind of thing can work as long as it's not scouted. If Protocam does get the scout off, he could try to get into some falcons, but to be honest, just an overwhelming amount of lizards can do pretty well against something like a badger, since they can prevent the kiting with the additional movement speed there. Protocam thinking about moving in, even grabbing that gristmill, maybe considering building some of these defense here. But the Badger Warren is almost complete. Winter does not quite have the money to pay for the Badger right now, though. Gonna have to sell one or two of these tier 1 Warrens. There you go. And yeah, here comes the soft contain here by Proto. I say soft contain because Winter can still get out this way and attack Protocam's main. I like that Protocam also took this campfire over there just to give him a better edge in a base race scenario. So this is looking pretty strong. I mean, Proto's got a ton of lizards. Setting up a lot of defense here. It's going to be very difficult for Winter to continue to build farms, as a lot of those would be in the turret and balloon range there. But the Badger's almost here. Can Winter make it happen and start to build up some pigeons? Maybe the Badger will be enough to crush this. I mean, if all the lizards from Proto try to target down that Badger, most likely what will end up happening is the squirrels will clean him up. The Badger will get low HP, but just barely live. But let's see, 2 balloons here as well. The fight starts. One of the balloons immediately goes down. Winter kiting backwards with the Badger. All the squirrels getting eliminated, but the Badger still stands strong for now. But that is a lot of lizards trying to get up on top. And it looks like the Badger will just barely live. It is so close. Gets down to 12 HP, but with all those pigeons healing. And this is where the cost effectiveness of something like a strong tier 3 can really shine through. You know, it's got so much HP here, and you deal all that damage getting its pool very, very low, and then it just heals back up again. Now Winter's got the rev. If Winter can eliminate the defense, has got to be so careful, though. 1 balloon shot away from losing this Badger here. Down to 7 HP, but there should be some reinforcing pigeons coming through. However, the good news for Protocam here is he's got a substantial economic lead. 9 farms to 4. It's really 10 farms, though, if you count that campfire as well. Ooh, 11 HP on this Badger. Winter getting a little bit bold here. Needs to let it heal up. Needs to get some pigeons back up and running. But the Badger still remains, and that is the big thorn in the side for Protocam. And Protocam's retreating back to his side of the map, which means that all these resources that he invested in over here are not very long for this world. Balloon goes down no problem without any reinforcing units, and the Badger's gonna get so low, but again, is gonna live, and Protocam starting to run out of steam here. Still got a really significant farm advantage, though. Winter has not been able to build any farms on the second base, hasn't quite felt comfortable enough, though, but I think should probably sell some of the tier 1 Warrens, just produce what they can, maybe try to sneak out a pig. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. When you get this Badger so low over and over again, but you just can't quite kill it. And GG, a nice victory there for Winter. Alright, let's keep it rolling. Match number 2. Spawning at the bottom left, we've got Sunrise Piggy Delivery Company. Their opponent up top, 6. Alright, this is cool, man. I like these decks. Just pure tier 1, tier 2 out of 6, and triple tier 3 from Sunrise. Nice big fat map, though, and the Gristmills definitely do favor the Archimedes player here, so maybe Sunrise will be able to get through with the plan that they have in mind to eco up, to get out a lot of these big tier 3 units. Sometimes I'm not sure, though, if when players go for this mini tier 3, is it more of like having the Swiss Army knife, you know? You have all the options available for the given situation, or do they truly want to get out one of each? You know what I mean? But 6 has a nice bruiser deck here. Should be able to get in and deal a lot of damage in the mid-game with those toads and cams bursting and tanking on the front lines, and can kind of scale with the Skunk Falcon later on. But no snakes out of 6 here, which would be quite nice against all this tier 3 and the cams. But so far, nothing crazy yet from either side. 8 farms as the openers here. We'll just have to let this game stew for a little bit. See how they want to approach it. Sunrise already grabbing this 6 o'clock base. I kind of like it. It's farther away from the opponent, which makes it a little bit more difficult to attack due to the increased attack path there. And Sunrise can eventually start getting into this area later on once they're more established. But so far, 6 is not expanding. Haven't quite scouted that expansion just yet. Should see it maybe here. Yeah, there you go. Sees that farm building. And meanwhile, Sunrise is going to see that so far 6 is just railing down that tier 1 button. He's going to try to get into some chameleons. Ooh, and this could be a nice time to attack here from 6. Sunrise playing very greedy, going double cams, even selling off some tier 1. Only has 3 lizards at the moment for the fight. And 6 is moving in here. Starting to get some damage done with the squirrel lizard. Manages to take out 2 pigs. Pretty good so far. Would love to see a bit more damage, and so would 6, though. Gonna come in for pig number 3 and gonna get it. Might be starting to overextend now, though. Probably just needs to go home happy with those 3 pigs. But I'm not so sure if 6 actually knows about the expansion down here. Like, yeah, they technically scouted it, but it was just barely on their vision. However, as long as 6 is looking at that mini-map from time to time, should be able to see that. Farm is definitely there, therefore a gristmill must be. 6 taking a pretty forward mill, given all the options, and nice cam engagement there for Sunrise. Couple toads blow up into the chameleons, but all the chameleons live. That time around, it was much more cost-effective for Sunrise, but 6 already got a decent amount of damage in by killing those 3 pigs, and Sunrise actually rebuilds the 3 pigs right here on the main gristmill. I do recommend, when you can, putting those on your expansion. If you're going to reinvest that 60 food, you might as well get a nice fresh farm out of it. Alright, 6 starting to expand. These toads might actually just devastate these chameleons. Yeah, it doesn't quite get the other 2. Looked like they're trying to get that stealth reveal, but not quite close enough to get it. And maybe overstaying their welcome, though. These chameleons do regenerate quite quickly in their own territory with that additional reptile regeneration, and able to clean up that additional attack, no problem. So many toads here from 6. And the toads are very strong units at the moment, but you gotta be careful when your economy is not super super powerful, right? Because they are bombs. So every time you use a toad, that's 20 food. That's guaranteed to die. Which is no big deal when you're sitting on like 14, 16 farms, but when you got a bit of a lower economy, you do want to be a little careful there. Ooh, setting up these cams up here on this high ground, maybe thinking about trying to set up a surround attack. And now is 6 going to move in on the expansion. Sunrise has caught up in the farms as the 5-minute mark came and went. Actually, some of these pigs that got killed earlier delayed the 4-farm loss on the main. And 6 coming in for a big attack here, trying to get these lizards with the toads. Sunrise is trying to kite as much as they can. Only the chameleons left. A lot of the toads ended up connecting onto the chameleons, but most of them managed to get away. One more gets picked up. This is getting scrappy. I feel like 6 has taken some pretty decent engagements, but also some kind of bad ones. You know, it's been a bit back and forth in these fights. And when that's the case, you really got to look at the economy. And like right there, for example, like most of 6 attacks are very good the first time around, and then they just kind of stay a little bit too long and overextend into that second wave. And 4 chameleons like this can be very powerful against tier 1 heavy armies, but it's really going to come down to the toe connections, man. Like, I'm not sure 100% on the math, but I'm pretty sure if 6, you know, can connect with those 9 toads onto the chameleons, they will go down. And Sunrise trying to get into this badger here. Six gonna come in, looking for the kill on that badger warren. Almost gets it. Very close. Does finally go down. Man, this game seems really familiar to me. I wonder if I already casted it. Might have already casted this one. If I did, I apologize. I'm normally pretty good about preventing that from happening with my organization. But either way, it's still an entertaining game. I don't know. I'm getting some deja vu here. Oh, Ziggy coming in saying it hasn't been casted. Okay. Maybe something else is reminding me of this one. Alright, Sunrise moving in. Getting a lot of damage done on this second base. Few of the farms have gone down. Sunrise is going to try to commit to get this tier 2 ward. Is going to get it. And this is a devastating blow here. This might just be GG. Let's see if 6 taps out or if they're going to try to re-rally and go for one more defense. But typically losing that second base, yeah, that is going to be it. I'll believe you, Mr. Ziggy, because believing you means that I didn't make a mistake. So we'll go with that. Okay. If you're just joining us, guys and gals, we've got the Clan Wars underway. You can still sign up for it. I think a few clans still need some more members. And that is going to be kicking off on Sunday, 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock CST. So keep your eye peeled on the Tooth and Tail category on Twitch for when those streams go live. And QQ is also putting together a tournament where players have to use other players' favorite decks, and it's going to be on custom maps as well. So going to be very fun. Lots of things coming up in the scene at the moment. Let's keep it rolling into match number 3 here. Turn on my fan. Spawning to the left, we've got Mr. Ziggy. And in the bottom right, Augustavams, also known as Mochaccino. Alright, we see the wolf from both sides. Yeah, PXP Clan P-Boop tag on Ziggy. We've got a few people, man. I don't know if we've got enough, though, to qualify. We've got me, we've got P-Boop, we've got Ziggy, and we've got Gentleman so far. Gentleman, the big pickup. He's going to carry the team. As long as I don't lose too many games. So let's take a look at these decks here. What we got in the overlap? Squirrel, Falcon, Wolf from both sides. This snake style, though, it seems pretty strong. Like I really like this snake, Falcon, Wolf situation. Wolf buff snakes are very good. Obviously, they're gonna poison things even faster, and then they're vroomy boys at that point too, so you can kite all day long with those snakes. And of course the Falcon also synergizes nicely with the Wolf, but meanwhile on Augusta's side, you know, Wolf Cam Falcon is old school, tried and true. Pretty much always been a decent late game comp in the Tooth and Tail meta. Not always super popular, but it's always something that can get the job done for sure. Now, typically, Augusta in this game, or Mocha, likes to play macro. You know, he's really good at scouting the opponent, not over-farming. But I think one of his big strengths is trying to just get a little bit ahead of you in that eco. But so far, a decent amount of tier 1 warrants, playing it safe, one farm from both sides. This is one interesting map for sure. It's a nice 4 gristmills over here for Augusta. Meanwhile, on Ziggy's side, there are 5, but I really feel like this line of mills right here will be very difficult to take. It's gonna Definitely be quite contested. Ziggy does have turrets, though, which can help. Try to cut the map in your favor. Alright, Augusta coming in. Looking for some harassment. Looking to try to get some damage on. Just going to run those toads right into a pig. Get some value there. But maybe lost too much army, to be honest. Traded a lot of units there for a pig, which is good in the long run, but not good right here, right now. Big tempo advantage here for Ziggy. Gonna take a couple pop shots from that cabin. Always been unfortunate, but gonna come in and try to get something done while he still has a squirrel advantage. But those toads get some very good connections. Nice micro there from Augusta. Cleans this up, no problem. And I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, that attack from Ziggy looked quite powerful coming out of the gate. But the good news for Ziggy is they did sneak out a couple extra farms before Mocha did. Mocha is catching up now, though, so we're going to be at 12-12 on the economy. And what is going to be the next move from both these players? You know, they could try to get into a lot of tier 2. They could try to throw down that Wolf Warren in a sneaky location. Mocha doesn't have a lot of sneaky locations here. I guess this would be a pretty decent spot. And Mocha's coming in again for an attack. Looking to get some damage done. Again, just gonna think about just, running those toads on those building farms. Actually crush those building farms. A lot weaker than an established pig. Goes down no problem. A nice little trade there. When all is said and done, though, it might have evened out. Like, Ziggy took the better trade on the army graph, but keep in mind, Augusta did get 120 food in those two killed pigs. And now we see the tier 2 coming out from both sides here. Double cam, Falcon for Augusta, and Snakes on the way for Ziggy. And this is a dangerous spot of the game. It's interesting because scouting is very, very important here. You need to know what your opponent is building, how many tier 2 warrens they got, if they're trying to build a tier 3 warren anywhere. But at the same time, it gets more difficult to scout as you have to run through your opponent's armies, especially with things like snakes, stacking poison on the commanders. Ziggy's got a decent tier 1 lead at the moment. I feel like he's got the better army right here, right now, but if you give Augusta a little bit more time, and all that tier 2 gets on the table, it could start looking a bit more on his favor. 3 turrets here for Ziggy, though, going to make attacking into this position much more difficult. Augusta could try to use the cam toad to break through that, but no, he's just going to decide to go ahead and get into this wolf. Does Ziggy scout it, though? Like I said, scouting at this phase of the game is so important, and it gets a little bit more difficult. You got to try to path around the armies. Your commander will die most of the time if you just try to scout right through an opponent's army at this phase of the game. Ziggy's just going to come in while Mocha is not in position to micro. Always painful. Going to lose the mill, but sells that building farm. At least gets that money back. We'll try to chase this down and get a couple trades. Gonna go into this, but with all the extra DPS from the turrets, I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's see. So far, Mocha does seem to be busting through, though. And the Falcons still stay strong in the air. Losing all the cams, however. It was a little bit costly to bust through those turrets, but now Mocha's got a bit of an edge here. Starting to get some damage done on the tier 2 warrens. Forces a sell on one, just straight up eliminates the other one. And the sell that did happen was only worth 23 food. So nice victory there for Augusta Bombs. Alright, Ziggy working on that third base. Hasn't committed to a lot of tier 2 yet, to be honest. Oh my god! Augusta with the 30 toads. Are you kidding me? Alright, now I'm hyped. Alright, let's see this. No, you should just build more toads, man. How many toads is it to kill a mill? Isn't it like 12? I think it's somewhere around 12, isn't it? Dude, wolf buff toads, man. Let's see it. I'm in. I'm into the wolf buff toads. Alright, let's go! Oh, Mocha actually pulling the toads through to try to maximize surface area and just blowing up the entire army of Ziggy. That was pretty hilarious. However, the toads are not going to be as effective in these little small numbers here. Damn, that was hilarious. Look at that Woof Buff Toad, man. How many times do you get to see a Woof Buff Toad? Oh, nice. Another hit for Team Toad here. Yeah, the initial explosion was actually pretty efficient. It was just the follow-ups, you know, when it's like 1 or 2 toads coming in against a few squirrels. Those aren't really the numbers where that many toads will work out. But the Woof is here, pure tier 1 for Mocha. Still has a bit of a better economy, but basically mass squirrels from Ziggy here. This is where you always wish you had some lizards or something, though, you know, just to soak these toad hits. Let's see it. Bam! Ah, not quite as good that time around. But then again, it wasn't 30 toads. Mocha's not all in on the toads anymore, though. Does have some squirrels as well. Just scouting around the map, doing their due diligence, double-checking expansions. Gonna try to take that base over at the 8 o'clock as a little bit of a sneaky base there. Nice scout here from Ziggy, checking everything out, seeing what's going on. And economies are getting low again. Both players on primarily tier 1, but the big difference here is that our Bellified player has that Wolf. Oh my gosh. The toad's coming in, slamming down. But I think that would have been better if they had that squirrel backup. A couple of those toads hit the mill. Didn't quite get those big connections like they did the very first time. Mocha selling down a little bit. Going to just 6 toads. Gonna chill out a little. Economies are getting really low though. 2 to 4 farms. Oh, Ziggy finds the hidden base. That is not good. And I think right here, right now, Ziggy's got the stronger army. This Wolf buff is nice, but not when your opponent has too many more units than you do. The Wolf gets very far forward. Really good job for Mocha trying to tank with it. But does end up losing it there in the end. Takes a little bit too much damage. That's going to allow Ziggy to come in here, knock out this mining base. Going to put both players in starvation. Mocha sells off the Wolf Warren. Just going to try to get it up to his own handful of squirrels, plus some skunks. Definitely a superior comp if he can get it out, though. One skunk about to spawn, but it's going to be isolated. This unit, the army cut off, and Ziggy is going to win while starving. Entertaining replay there. Very nice. Gotta love 30 toads with the Wolf buff, man. Alright, where are we at? We got some more clan tags here. Match number 4. Spawning on the left side, we've got Cavernus. Or Cavernus. I think it's Cavernus. And in the bottom right, the Kid. Cavernus rocking that Lizard Wizard Magic clan tag. Some nice decks from both sides, pretty similar. You know, they want that Squirrel, Pigeon, Skunk, Snake core here. A little bit of variation. I kind of like the Kids comp better. I really like this like Squirrel Toad, Snake Falcon kind of thing lately. I've seen a little bit. Seems to make sense, like cutting out on the Skunks and utilizing the Toads for that AoE instead. Ooh, 5-farm double here coming out from the Kid. And Cavernus needs to get a scout ASAP because he did get faked. It was sold farms into that. Does get the scout though. Come home. You can typically just sell like 1 farm and be okay, but maybe this map is far enough that Cavernus will be fine. I actually don't recommend building the Warrens like this though a lot of times because the enemy squirrels, if they do commit to the attack, can poke down the Warrens without being under fire from the pigs. And the Warrens are actually very, very important, right? If the Warrens go down, then that can basically be checkmate. Warren tanking used to be a lot more important back in the day, but the Warren HP has gone down since then. Actually, a little bit of an overcommitment there by the Kid. doesn't quite target fire down that Warren, and Cavernus taking a nice little victory here in the early game. Definitely gonna have to feel good about that trade. The kid delayed the economy more and was not quite as efficient in that trade. If they got that Warren, which they did get some decent damage on, it could have been a lot better for the kid. But this game might be short and sweet, as Cavernus is committing really hard to a lot of moles here. Going to come in, going to pick off a pig for free. 3 squirrels against 6. These moles doing a great job tanking on the front lines here. Cavernus' commander is getting a little bit low, just needs a micro back. Nicely done. Needs to be careful though, 2 HP. Got to simmer down for a minute, let that commander heal up. Maybe pull back the units, wait for a couple more moles to build. And yeah, overextending a little bit with these squirrels here. I think if Cavernus was just a little bit tighter with the micro, that might have been a killing blow. We're getting a lot of damage done here, but the commander goes down, and that is the saving grace for the kid. That mole actually critting down that farm, though. A little bit of extra value there, and with the new moles on this patch, you know, selling these Warrens is not going to get you your full refund like it used to, but Cavernus does not get to sell regardless. The kid comes in there and cleans it up. Alright, Cavernus going to try for round 2, though. Does have a few leftover moles here. But the kid is starting to stabilize, has several squirrels, has a nice defensive position. Man, I'd be tempted to just try to go for the build. I think that's the wrong call here anyways. Doing some good job trying to target fire down some of these squirrels. But does Cavernus actually have enough to seal this out? No, again losing the commander. And this Warren is now exposed. It's going to be an easy pickoff for the kid. Yet again, the kid has been pretty far behind in economy since those pigs were picked off. And the second base for Cavernus is up and running. However, the Cavernus has taken some very cost-ineffective trades here. So when you factor all that in together, maybe they're in about the same spot. Kid with 1 extra tier 1 Warren, finally getting these pigs reestablished. But this is where that additional economy from Cavernus can really start kicking in. Needs to be careful though, doesn't want to go too crazy on the pigs and just get ran over by a tier 1 spam by the kid. Alright, the kid pulling back for now, taking it easy. And we're in a little bit of a lull. Both players committing to a lot of tier 1. The kid did scout that expansion, knows how far behind they're starting to get in eco. Gonna go ahead and take their own expo now. Gonna move out for some poking. No high ground vision here, unfortunately, so it can't pick off that Warren. Gonna move in here. Decent target fire coming out from both sides, but with that defender's advantage, Cavernus is gonna clean this up no problem. And the kid is gonna have to back out for now. Alright, second base getting established here for the kid. That 5-minute mark did hit. These beginning farms are starting to fallow out. Let's see. Both players have skunks, which is a nice second step, you know, in a big squirrel war like this. But Cavernus is playing a very greedy game here, getting quite ahead on farms. If they're allowed to get away with this, it could be quite substantial for him. Keep in mind, it only takes 40 seconds to build a tier 1 Warren plus all 3 of its units. So sometimes you can, that window to punish a lot of greed like this can be pretty small if the greedy player does reinforce themselves with a good amount of tier 1, you know, less than a minute, and then get in there with a ton of units. Alright, Cavernus got a lot of squirrels here. He threw those skunks down, moving forward. Grabbing this forward gristmill, maybe to try to tank. Doesn't quite have any defensive units. The territory can also be nice for healing. But caught themselves in a bit of a concave versus convex for a second there. I think a little bit overkill on the micro. I think Cavernus could have committed in. Look at this. Cavernus is just going to throw down some farms on this mill. They never quite scouted the additional bases up in the 12 and 9 o'clock position. They probably know that they're there. But Cavernus is going pretty all in with this position by taking farms on this mill. Oh Oh my god, but the kid's got some toads. Running around with the toads. What is he doing? He gets that additional movement speed in the water there. Or not additional, but at least no penalty. Gets some pretty decent engagements. One skunk still remaining strong, but the skunk does need support units. I love that toad flank, man. I don't know if it was necessary, but it was really cool to watch. Alright, toad's coming in, getting some great damage in on all these units, knocking out one of the skunks. The kid is still behind on economy, though. And now that this base has been taken from Governus, the options for expansions here by the kid are quite limited. It looks like the kid might be looking around, scouting some of the map where they haven't yet been. Thinking about actually doing a base race. We'll be able to take this 12 o'clock mill, but at the same time, Governus is going to be able to knock out this expansion. We are definitely in a base race scenario now. But does the kid have enough units here, trying to return the favor on the expansion of Governus? But Governus is going to come home and try to save this. I don't think he'll quite have enough. These squirrels are not DPSing it down very quickly, but they should get there. Nicely done, and we're knocked back into the Stone Age this game. However, Governus has a lot more assets, a lot more squirrels on the ground, even some tier 2 as well. This is definitely looking like dire straits for the kid here. And try to do what he can, fight to the last squirrel. But I think he's going to have to tap here. Nice victory by Governus. Probably could have won with that very first mole rush if it was executed just a little bit better. But awesome game nonetheless. Alright, we've got a premium 2v2 here. Submission number 100. Let's take a peek. Spawning at the bottom, we've got Rattan and Mr. Ziggy. And up top, Premium Bow and Darius Hearts. 2 clan P-Boop members in here. P-Boop himself. The person who the clan is named after for some reason. And of course, Mr. Ziggy. And look at P-Boop's deck, man. Toad, Snake, Badger, Fox, Wire. Really crazy stuff. I think Premium likes a random a lot in 2v2, so not necessarily premeditated. Look at this from Rattan, though. Trying to be a cheeky boy here with a mole rush, as if this was the last patch. But gonna have to pack it up and go home. That was actually pretty good as far as new patch mole rushes go, because since he didn't actually commit to building any moles, he got the full refund on the sell. Premium Bow responds with this with a snake, 5-farm snake, man. Some old school Mishi strats here. What else we got? Ziggy's building some moles somewhere. We got a mole rush coming in here. Double mole rush from Rattan and Ziggy. Or, I'm sorry, from Rattan. Yeah, my bad. For some reason, I thought Ziggy and P-Boop were on the same team for a minute, but they are not. These moles not super good at killing the pigs. Gonna maybe get it. There he goes. The snake is out, though. And in small numbers like this, snakes are awesome. I mean, snakes are pretty good all game long. Premium Bow gonna start getting some work done with this single snake. The snake pigeon, yeah, this is some old school Mishi stuff for sure. Rattan trying to desperately build a bunch of tier 1 wards. But can Premium Bow lead the team to victory with a single snake with some pigeons healing it? Snake number 2 on the way. Darius coming in to reinforce with some squirrels as well. A lot of damage already being done here to Rattan, and these snakes are just not dying. 3 HP on one. One of them finally goes down. The second snake is still here, though, getting healed from that pigeon, helping to keep it nice and healthy. And Rattan is starting to look pretty rough here. Only 4 farms remain, but keep in mind, Premium Bow is only on 4 farms himself. However, does lose both those snakes. They're rebuilding now, however. Meanwhile, what's Ziggy been up to? Just kind of hanging out. Does have that 8 farms. Building into some tier 1. Got some moles here. Delthius getting the skunks up and running. So Rattan is holding for the moment. Ziggy trying to get up some ferrets. Maybe return the favor with a bit of poke. But lots of squirrels here. This is one of the main weaknesses of the snake, is just overwhelming numbers of tier 1 here. Snake goes down. A couple pigs going down as well. But the one snake still holding strong for the moment. A decent attack there from the red and blue team, keeping Premium Bow with a very rough economy for the moment, trying to get up some barbed wire a little bit more far forward. This is an absolute slugfest. One member of each team, I should say, not able to even get up to 8 farms at this game. The ferret's starting to get some okay poking in. Nice micro here with the snake, trying to target as many different units as possible, but again, loses both of them here. Nice pickup here for the red and blue team. And Delthius got to get these skunks away. Losing these skunks would hurt very bad. One skunk goes down. Nice pickup there. Good target fire from Ziggy and Rattan. And Ziggy and Rattan are starting to look a little bit deadly. They got a decent tier 1 army here, backed up by some ferrets. Deal that extra long-range punch. Delthius has quite a few of his own squirrels here. Will it be enough, though? The skunk's really helping out. Premium Bow committing to trade the snake for a ferret. A stack of poison also gets on the other ferret here. But the attack gets pushed back for now. And decent hold here for yellow and green. This game has just been non-stop action from both sides. Again, we still don't have 8 farms on the main base here for 2 players. And now we never will, as the 5-minute mark has come and gone. Delthius expanding. Ziggy expanding. Premium Bow just relying on these couple snakes and their pigeon healers. But this is a lot of squirrels coming out from Team Red and Blue. Delthius would really like to get into an extra pair of skunks when and if he can afford it. Premium Bow looking for that expo, gonna find it in the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Rattan needs to be thinking about their own expansion. Actually saving up. Are they maybe thinking about building an artillery cannon? There it is. Alright. Interesting spot for it. It's a little bit far away from this main attack area, but I mean, they have such long range, it'll probably be able to shoot over there for the most part. But I think what Rattan is really hoping out of that cannon is to defend this upcoming expansion there to the top right of it. Big attack coming in from P-Boop and Delthius. Let's see if they can actually get it done. Lots of skunk gas coming through so far. The pigeons helping to heal the skunks, and yeah, red and blue's army just falling apart so far. Everything is in pieces. Those skunks from Delthius just doing so much work. Rattan knocked out, leaving Ziggy in a 1v2, which will most likely be a GG here shortly. Really cool game, man. Nice, short and sweet, lots of action. And 5 farm into Snake Pigeon from Premium Bow. But Delthius was the secret weapon there for sure. As P-Boop was doing the snake bobbing and weaving, Delthius was the one with the big squirrel skunk army, getting it done. All right, we got a free-for-all. I've been getting a lot of free-for-all submissions lately, so trying to get through them. As always, keep submitting ToothandTailTV at gmail.com. Don't forget about the TNT Clan Wars coming up. The first cast for that will be on Sunday, 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock CST. You can still sign up and participate in the Clan Wars. Highly recommend you do so. These kind of events are always fun. The organizers put a lot of work into it, so it's always great when we have a nice turnout for them. And another event coming up is QQ's custom map, custom deck tournament, where he kind of surveyed a bunch of players, got some deck lists from everybody, and he's going to spread them out. You're going to be forced to use somebody else's deck list, and it's going to be on custom maps. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get into game number 6 here. What do we got this time around? All right, on the left side, we've got Big Pimpintosh. In the bottom, we've got Mr. Ziggy. Over to the right, this guy. And up top, Lego Man. Lego Man with that owl snake. We got Wolf Fox out of Big Pimpintosh. That's always fun. Lots of foxes game. 3 fox. Actually, Fox Badger from this guy. Alright, who's got the coolest deck award? Ah, man. Like, my personal bias is Tosh, because Wolf Fox is just awesome. But Ziggy going for turret artillery with the Fox is pretty cool as well. Ooh, but Lego Man is not running squirrels. Okay. Alright, Lego Man, like, at first glance, Lego Man's deck kind of looks like a try-hard meta deck, and then you look and see that it's Toad Mole. These are all pretty cool. We'll have to see how it plays out. Lots of defense here coming in. Lots of tier 3. And this is a big old map with a huge lake in the middle. Who's got the best map gen? It looks like this guy. Right, because he's got 3 mills and a cabin. Meanwhile, Lego Man's got 2 mills up here. Oh, 8 farm snake from Lego Man. Let's go. Tosh has got 2 mills. And Ziggy has 3. Although these 2 mills probably going to have a hard time coexisting. Alright, this is fun. I'm hyped for this one. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, Ziggy trying to punish this very early expo with the Mole Warren. But this guy does get the squirrels out in time. Again, I like these. It's interesting because the Mole rushes and the Mole attacks and flanks have been nerfed pretty hard by the Mole Warren losing HP as it produces units. But you don't get taxed for doing stuff like that, right? For like building a Mole Warren but selling it before it gets built. We've seen that a little bit tonight, so that's pretty neat. Tosh with the single balloon here to try to tell Lego to leave him alone. Meanwhile, Lego's already getting quite a few mines out. Most players are trying to get into that eco. Second base is coming up everywhere. This guy is pulling way ahead as far as economy is concerned. 5 farms already on that second base. We're starting to see some defense going down. Tosh getting some balloons to cover both the sides there, telling Ziggy to leave him alone and Lego Man to go away. And boosting up that economy. Meanwhile, what is Lego Man up to? Actually just building a lot of tier 2 at the moment. Ooh, and the Owl Warren already in production for Lego. So this is definitely a crazy match, but look at this turret. Oh my gosh, if this turret actually, or this artillery actually gets up, that is going to be devastating. This guy fighting desperately to try to prevent that from happening, but it's not going to work. Ziggy's got just enough units here to defend this Falcon, adding a ton of extra bursts here to get rid of these squirrels coming in one by one. And this is so rough for this guy, man. Like, he invested in this mill so early. He was so far ahead. Oh my gosh, just watch this. Just take a moment. Oh, Ziggy sells it! Ziggy! My mind is blown. Sold at the last minute there by Ziggy. I mean, I would think you'd like... Why... You agreed to not hit each other? You played no rush free-for-all? Is that what's going on? I think they're just having fun, hanging out in voice chat, playing some TnT. Tosh is like, we did? Oh, man. Dude, you should have broke the rule, man. You should have killed that mill. This guy forged a last-minute alliance. Is what I think happened with Ziggy. Right, he's messaging him on Discord. Dude, come on, man. Come on, don't do me dirty like that. That would have been devastating. But that allows Tosh to come up. Look at this, 3 Fox Wolf. Big economies coming out from everybody here. Dude, this guy was messaging Ziggy, typing at 180 words per minute. Just, come on, man. Please, please, please don't. Oh, here comes Lego Man, though. Looking to put some paint on. However, triple Badger from this guy is up and running. There are a couple snakes here, which are quite effective against Badgers. However, not against 3 Badgers. Meanwhile, Ziggy is setting up the defense against Tosh. Let's see. 4 snakes is pretty deadly. But the Badgers are revved up. They'll be able to jam through that no problem and just totally delete Lego Man's army. 1 of the Badgers will go down, but 2 remain. I'm sure this guy is quite okay with that trade. Lego Man gonna come home, sell a couple things, rebuild what he can. Meanwhile, Tosh going for full wolf buff fox. Dude, that'd be nuts. Wait, it's 8 units, right? 8 units for the fox buff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's either 8 or 6. I forget off the top of my head. All right, triple expansion from this guy, building back up that Badger count. Almost got a fox here. Double fox from Ziggy as well. Tons of defense coming in from Ziggy. Oh my god. Snake Owl is good against fox, huh? What about 4 foxes with a wolf? Alright, they're still having a lot of trouble. Ooh, a mill just went down. Oh, this guy is attacking from the rear. And Lego Man just taps out there after losing the main base, after getting pincered from both sides. Oh my god, dude. Yes. This is amazing. Dude. Alright, Tosh. Alright, you get a million style points awarded to Tosh here. That was awesome to watch. Oh, the pig shooting down the turrets. Ziggy going full turtle here. Meanwhile, Tosh is looking to take over Lego Man's old territory. And Tosh's compositions should do pretty good against this guy here. Huge minefield, but Tosh can kind of gladly sacrifice the squirrels to clear this all out. Oh my gosh, so many balloons coming up though. Tosh does not want to let that happen. The hopper gets assassinated immediately. These mines doing some good work. But Tosh has no units that can actually shoot these balloons. He's still being very careful. Not sure if there's more mines going to come in and kill as many of those pigs as he can before he's forced to retreat out of the balloon wall here. Oh man, watching 4 wolf buff foxes just delete those 2 armies was pretty awesome. Meanwhile though, Ziggy is breaking through, being a thorn in Tosh's side here in the soft underbelly of his base. Manages to knock out that Expo. Tosh at a very low economy now. All the foxes got eliminated. Ziggy, the sleeper of this game, on 16 farms, building up his own mass of foxes here. Almost 5 foxes on the board. And Tosh, unfortunately, is going to have to sell all the fun units and probably just try to build some squirrels or something to stay alive. Meanwhile, this guy with the single fox up here on the high ground, just knocking squirrels out. This is a straight up fox fest here. Oh, but Ziggy coming in from the bottom. Having a hard time blasting through all the balloons. This guy coming back with the cautious that he's got. Ooh, nicely done by this guy. Finds a couple little spots there to shoot down whatever pigs they can. Meanwhile, Ziggy coming through. Oh, just waiting. Just waiting. The balloon comes up, though. Tosh gets that clutch balloon, however. which will force these foxes back for now. I mean, it looks like Ziggy's got this one. I'm thinking. I don't know. This guy's got a pretty good economy too, though. You know, you can always judge who's ahead in a game of Tooth and Tail by just the raw number of foxes they have. That's very meta to build 6, 7, 8 foxes. I'm Delthius, and I know what I'm talking about. Alright, here we go. 6 foxes here. Coming in. Trying to get some work done. Just one-shotting commanders. You think snake poison on commanders is annoying. Try just getting dunked on by 6 foxes at once. Triple Badger coming up from this guy, though. Gotta think of something to try to blast through all this defense. It's so funny, like, how much of a hard stop defense is the Fox, man. Like, all these players have such large quantities of tier 3 units that just literally can't do anything. Gotta use those squirrels. Ziggy gonna back up the Fox squad with the squirrels. Yeah, for real, Tosh. There we go. Tier 1 coming in here, getting the balloons down. Oh, looks like a little bit of a gang up here on Tosh. No, this guy's gonna come home for now. Alright, so that looks like curtains for Tosh. But I think wins the cool points in this game. See, Tosh was the OG. Tosh is the hipster, the Fox hipster here. You know, these other guys, Ziggy and this guy, man, they're posers. They only started building Mass Fox after Tosh made it cool. You know what I mean? 7 foxes here from Ziggy. 36 squirrels, though, from this guy. That is a lot of squirrels. Alright, Ziggy trying to get the focus fire in on the foxes. But man, Mass Squirrel is the answer to most things in Tooth and Tail. And certainly is an answer to 7 foxes here. Alright, this guy gonna try to come around, hoping that this side is not quite as protected with all the defense. However, he is quite wrong in that assumption, as all the artillery cannons are on the west side of the base. Alright, let's see. The Ziggy's actually starving now. Maybe this guy will win. He does deny that building, or that mining base. Okay, Ziggy can rebuild here now that the foxes are gone. A fox could step up on that ledge and try to poke that down, but no foxes left on the board for this guy. Only an absurd amount of squirrels, which are not going to do good against turret and artillery. Does manage to kill that building farm, though, and put Ziggy back on starvation, but this guy knows that it's lost. GG there to Ziggy. That was an awesome match. The fox per minute ratio in that match was quite high. How many foxes did we see that game? At least 20. Right? At least 20. Where are we at? We're on game number 7 here. Alright, spawning in the bottom, we've got Toronto Dump. Alright, and up top, we've got Shadow Atom. Seen a lot of wolf tonight. We see the boar wolf again. We didn't quite we got teased with the boar wolf last time. Maybe we'll see it realized in this game against Toronto Dump. That last game we saw was a free-for-all Raucous, but that was the 2v2 that was on the docket tonight was Premium Bow's 100th submission. Yeah, man, Premium Bow has been here since the beginning. OG. Been a big part of the scene, helped mod on this channel for quite some time, and he's kind of involved in a lot of events behind the scenes, just kind of helping out the tournament organizers with a little bit of the action The thankless tasks that go into some of the organizing and rallying of the players and such. All right. What is going on? Tron will dump with a lot of defense here. Maybe he'll try to build that wall that he promised. Waka Waka. Meanwhile, what's Shadow Adam got? Snake, Boar, Wolf, Cam, Skunk. I actually like Shadow Adam's deck a lot. That seems pretty cool. I mean, Boar and Skunk, I actually don't mind because there are a lot of games where you can't, like, get out the tier 3. So I don't mind that, like, AoE overlap there. Meanwhile, Tronald's deck here just seems like a meme fest to me. But I always like these ambitious decks that try to run the turret, or I'm sorry, the artillery. And a lot of times we'll see the artillery paired with turret or wire to try to back it up as it's being built. But Tronald here has Bofa. Gonna get his snakes too, and I think if you're gonna kind of skimp out on the tier 2 to do stuff like fit a bunch of defense or fit a bunch of tier 3, I think the snake's a pretty safe pick. You know, if you're gonna just take one tier 2, the snake gets the job done quite well. Very versatile unit, can fill a lot of different roles. Good against quite a few units. And good in most situations. I think really the only big situation where you rather wouldn't have snakes is against a whole lot of tier 1. Alright, meanwhile, though, Shadow getting into double cam. Tronald Dump's wall is getting established here. Now let's see if he makes Shadow pay for it. Alright, that's the last one. That's the last one. Maybe. Probably. Alright, what is Shadow doing? Working up the cams. I like the idea on paper with cams against barbed wire, but I'm not so sure. I mean, I think maybe better players than me probably have barbed wire more figured out. But every game I try to go in there and, like, deal with the barbed wire as it's being built, so I always get wrecked upon. So I think the right approach against barbed wire most of the time is probably just ecoing up yourself. But you can only do that, I guess, if you think you have a late game that can deal with whatever late game they've got, you know. And typically when they have barbed wire, they're doing something like Owl Snake. Alright, this boar is being built from Shadow. In a pretty exposed spot. Has Tronald seen it yet? Has not, actually. Very close to seeing it. Getting actually really good snake tags there. Trying to hit all the different cams, but didn't quite get enough tags. Only one each. That's not going to quite cut it. The cams live for now, but they actually don't get to heal back up in between engagements. So 2 cams should be dying there to the poison. Gonna deny that expansion mill, however. And this is where the chameleons are really going to shine. Oh, man, but Shadow, that artillery is coming up. Do you go for it? I'd probably go for it. I'd probably try to get that done. I think you can do it. It's very close. There it is. The cam's on the front. Going to effectively deal with that barbed wire there. Knock that turret out before it gets going. Who's got the better economy? Pretty even at the moment. Tronald's got a little bit more. Tronald's wall here starting to get breached. But here's the boar. Is the boar really what you want, though? I mean, Tronald does have... Well, the boar is going to do good against the defense. The boar is not going to do good against the snake, but everything else should be quite effective on it. And it's up to Tronald to get those snake tags onto the boar, which actually does not happen. Nicely done there by Shadow. Losing his commander in the process, though. I was curious why it wasn't just diving in even further. But only one snake here. No pigeons or anything like that for Shadow to heal this boar up. So needs to be careful. Stacks of poison already getting going on that boar, but has so much HP. No problem at the moment. Starting to slam through here. Knocking out this second base is... Oh, no. Is that the main? No, that is the second base. I'm sorry. The map was kind of screwing me up with that small choke there in the south. That is normally GG. Especially when you've got your own established second mill. You know, knocking out their natural, that's normally what'll end the game here. The board does live, some nice control there by Shadow. Toronto's gonna fight it out to the very end. Refuses to concede. Okay, alright, that was the last one. The results are in. He's still not surrendering, though. Nice spot there to take a little boar bath. Get that extra HP regen. So one campfire keeping Toronto Dump alive. This boar only back up to a measly 43 HP, but should be enough to get the job done here. The cam slamming through. And Toronto Dump gonna have to tap here. GG. Nice victory there from Shadow. Showing a good way to use cams and boars to bust on through a lot of defense there. Okay, got a few more for everybody here tonight. And don't forget, on Sunday, the TNT Clan Wars are beginning. Definitely keep your eye peeled on the Tooth and Tail category. I think it's a new person in the scene who's going to be casting. And somebody I haven't really messed with quite yet. Sorry, I got distracted by some Discord messages there. Yeah, so Tander Draco is going to be casting. I'm not sure what their Twitch handle is here. But that's going to be on noon and 5 o'clock CST. So keep your eye out for that. It's going to be it's like an exhibition match. They're testing the waters with the team format. Going to be a lot of fun. And it looks like it's going to be in between Toad Road Gang and FXB. So I'm really hyped for that. It's really cool. Horace and Kipo stepped up to organize this. I always love to see new people coming in and stepping up in some organization roles. You know, it's awesome. All right, let's kick it off to match number 8. Spawning in the bottom right, we got Tiki Gray. Their opponent up top, Meek. Alright, Tier 1, Tier 2, heavy deck from Tiki here. Going with the Ferrets. And meanwhile, Meek is running quite an interesting setup here. Lizard, Ferret, Falcon, Fox, Turret, Artie. So we'll see how that works out. 4-farm double here from Tiki. Meanwhile, 4-farm double from Meek too. Both sides rushing. And not surprising for Meek. Meek likes to play aggressive. So that's actually hilarious here that they just kind of mirrored each other with the rush here. Ooh, Meek actually sells off his Warrens, builds some turrets instead. And the benefit of that is to basically get the money back for your lizards in order to boost up the economy just a little bit more here. So both players in this position just trying to safely get into full 8 farms. Tiki thinking about it. I don't think it's going to happen. 3 lizards against 1 turret. I think that can happen if it doesn't have pig coverage. Not 100% sure on that engagement. And Tiki going to play it safe there, not overcommit. This deck from Miki is pretty cool. I like the idea of getting that artillery up, getting out the turret. It's actually reminiscent of a very old school like 2017 deck that me and Mishi kind of popularized, like Squirrel Lizard, Ferret Falcon Fox Turret back in the day was a pretty strong comp. So it's kind of got a little bit of a more modernized approach on that. And there is a fast fox here off one base. Tiki does get the scout. Gonna go for some ferrets to try to break the turrets before the fox is ready. And maybe this rush distance is short enough. I think Tiki needs to build a lot of lizards here to be able to catch that fox. And a lot of tier 1 is actually a really good answer to fox. Like, fox is very powerful against tier 2 and against most tier 3 besides the owl. But tier 1 can give a fox a hard time. I used to do a lot of like one base fox builds way back in the day, and basically what people figured out was just ecoing up really hard and just building so much tier 1 that you eventually just back the fox into a corner. Tiki's starting to harass down onto the base though. Basically saying, hey, if you get that fox up, doesn't matter because I'll already have so much damage done to you. And these ferrets really coming in handy trying to break through this defensive player. And it looks like the fox will make it out, but Meek will not have enough supporting units, and Tiki might be able to just focus down the mill here straight up. No, gonna take it home actually. Dealing crippling damage to Meek, but the question is, can Meek return the favor with the fox? Tiki trying to get the flank with these lizards here. Actually getting a shot on the fox with the ferrets, but Meek has managed to scramble together enough lizards to force Tiki back for now. More and more lizards are being built here by Tiki, and yeah, that is definitely the play, man. Just overwhelm the fox with just so much tier 1. Alright, Meek. Oh, Meek. Selling off everything but the fox. Building up a bunch of emergency turrets, and these will get up in time. Even in, investing in an artillery, Tiki's not going to be happy he decided to sell off the ferrets. Will he be able to chase this fox down? I don't think so, as long as Meek is ingredient and doesn't take another shot. Yeah, Tiki would have loved to have the ferrets there. Gonna build another set of them now. Also start getting more and more ahead on economy. Keep in mind, Meek is only on 3 farms. Tiki looking for a way to get around here, but there is no ledges or anything like that. Alright, lots of lizards here from Tiki. That 5-minute mark did pass, and lucky enough for Meek, 2 of the farms that were still alive were not part of those first 4 farms. Tiki is taking some shots on these lizards, but keeping the fox away from the pigs. That's the important thing here. Oh, this time around, it looks like Tiki might get it. So close. Oh my gosh, 4 HP. That's going to force Meek to at least simmer down for a little while here. Alright, Meek looking for some more shots here. Going to continue to hit these lizards. This time around, are the lizards actually going to get there? So close again, but dragging all these lizards back into the defense. Tiki chasing a little bit too far. Really great control from Meek here. From both sides, really. This water here, by the way, is such a saving grace for Meek. Slowing down the lizards as they try to come in for the flank. Meek even getting that extra healing from the fox. Yeah, see, every time Tiki is trying to come in with this lizard flank, that water really slows him down, and just losing too much value over chasing into those turrets there. But Meek is in starvation now. Five farms to 0. Meek can easily sell off a turret or two to get out of that starvation, though. Meek not really relying on much economy anyways, just trying to get a ton of value with the Fox. Oh, Tiki being sneaky, trying to rally these squirrels around the other side, taking hits with the lizards. That was very smart, but didn't quite work out. Meek pulls back, figuring something must be up here. Dude, this lizard, or this fox has gotten so many kills this game. It is absolutely outrageous. Tiki coming in again, trying to get those lizards. Maybe Meek will end up winning this. Let's see. He is getting a ton of value here. Oh, 2 HP on the Fox, so close. Like, look at this RB value graph. I mean, keep in mind it is accounting for all the defenses there. This is absolute madness. We've seen a lot of Fox play tonight. And this is starting to look a little bit bad here for Tiki. Slowly running out of economy here. The never quite able to get enough lizards. Kind of chasing into that artillery a bit too closely. Dude, I mean, how many tier 1 kills do you think this Fox has this game? Like 50? Alright, maybe the Fox looking for some pigs. Nope, gonna be safe, gonna take it home. Alright, Tiki looking for it and is finally gonna get the Fox there. MVP Fox, though, for sure. Meek has already got another one on the way, though. Tiki is gonna run in, see what's going on. Does confirm that the tier 3 Warren was not sold. Okay. This is the move Tiki's been wanting. He wants to bait this Fox out and then come in with the flank with the lizards here. Tiki is one of the better players in the scene at pulling off flank attacks. So this Fox might not be as prolific as the last one here. Dude, I honestly think that last Fox had at least 50 kills. Alright, here it comes. The Fox moving in. And the lizard flank from the back. Isn't going to work, though. Lots of lizards there to help out, to defend the Fox. The Fox does get away. But Tiki taking a nice trade. Cleaning up all the lizards of the opponent. Meek now aware of Tiki's plans for the flank. And start picking these Liz boys off as he can. Ooh, 1 HP does get it. Nicely done there by Tiki. And Meek can afford one more Fox. But after that, is going to have to sell off an artillery cannon to afford another. And Tiki getting this extra little campfire over the side. Very nice. Campfire especially good against the Fox, since the Fox cannot interact with it. And Meek just playing on literally no economy the entire game. taking some nice value, some good trades here. Or not even really trades, just getting free units with the Fox. And it's even rough for Meek, to be honest, because, like, he can't even really take those farms there, you know? I don't think there's really enough wheat left on any of them to justify the cost investment. Meek would have to take that mill and move forward, you know, relocate the defenses more forward, and that would be a great opportunity for Tiki to get in there and get some damage done. But Tiki's economy is starting to flail himself, especially with this Fox starting to pick off some pigs. Tiki does have both the cabins here, though, so that's an extra 2 farms, so it's kind of more like 4 farms to 1. Oh man, 13 minutes in. Alright, some nice shots there. Meek picking off a pig. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a mill over here. I thought this was a cabin. Just looking at the minimap. Alright, no farms for Tiki anymore. Meek looking around. Doesn't quite find much just yet, however. Gonna have to take this mill at some point. Like I said, you know, you don't really want to take those farms again. Meek just looking around, seeing what Tiki's up to. Trying to find... But here comes the lizard flank from Tiki, I bet. Oh, they're in the back. He's got the squirrels coming in from the side. Fox should be able to get out of here just fine, though. Alright, economies are starting to even out. And this base over to the left is like Tiki's last bastion. Ooh, nice pickup there on that Fox for Tiki. Very close. Another Fox on the way, though, for Meeks. Dude, this has just been a foxy night tonight, man. We've seen a lot of Foxes. Alright, Tiki going mass eco on the side base, knowing he's got a little bit of time until the next Fox is out. He's got 9 lizards. That's enough to at least push the Fox back. You know, keep the Fox off the farms. Buy him some time to build up some more lizards again. Some smart decision making. Yeah, Meek is forced to take one of these farms here. Stop from starving. But that shouldn't buy him very much time. Meek is looking for some action. Another lizard flank set up from Tiki over to the side. Meek trying to be careful. Meek is not going to be happy to see that full mining base there. Knows that's got to be the target, but curious where the lizards are. Knows they've got to be somewhere. Gonna bring the Fox in, not being too greedy. Finds the lizard pack. Oh, gonna get caught in water, though. This is gonna slow the Fox down. It takes another shot there. I think that's another dead Fox. Nicely done by Tiki there. And Meek is probably just gonna tap GG. That was an entertaining match for sure. Alright, are we gonna see any more Foxes tonight? I'm curious. Well, we've got a free-for-all coming up, so maybe. Alright, who do we got here? In the bottom, we've got Cheshire Saxophone. Over on the right, we've got Torugo. I like that name. Rocking the Fox. Over on the left, I am not eating. And up top, I Carter. Alright, bit of Artie. Lots of tier 3 here. Lots of defense. Big old map with a ton of mills. This is a free-for-all, right? Yes. Just making sure, because look at the spawn here for yellow and red. This looks like 2v2 spawns, doesn't it? This is gonna be awesome to watch here. Like, they're so close together. Both of them even building some early warrens. Most players here building some early warrens. I am not eating, however, though. Just macroing up for now. Oh, Cheshire, actually, is looking for blood. More and more warrens coming down. Carter has got some lizards on the way, too. This might be a quick slugfest. Alright, get some... Start to poke down on the pig. Keeps the squirrel alive, though. Alright, Tarugo. Getting that second base up and running. Meanwhile, we got some action over here as Carter is trying to get something done. Looks like he killed a pig. I missed that. So a little bit of damage there. It's got to get back up to those 8 farms, though. Let's see how this one progresses as we get further and further into it here. Ooh, another lizard attack over to the side. Alright, gonna come in and get a little bit of damage done. Tier 2 on the way for Carter. Cheshire getting into double snakes. Tons of wire coming up. Tarugo. Let's go. Look at this. Getting the defense down. Cheshire trying to claim some territory here. Oh, that turret is just barely out of range. Bellify going for a swim. Okay, so we're still just kind of advancing here. Tarugo's starting to cut some of the map off for himself. Going to secure that 2 bases, at least against red. Kind of exposed and blue decides to attack in. Blue, though, is getting into a decent amount of tier 2. Meanwhile, green is also trying to expand here. We got the fox on the way from Tarugo. Another fox match tonight. Owl here from Cheshire, though. Good response to all this defense, for sure. And I think I might just fast forward a little bit as this game keeps on cooking here. Looks like most players are trying to get into 2 bases. Looks like Tarugo, so far, has got the lead on the tech, on the eco. Carter with a very defensive artillery there. Gonna slam in, though. Bust down the defense. Does I Am Not Eating have enough to hold on here? Any pig's gonna fall? No, his units were attacking the mill, actually, there. That mill tanking some critical damage. One of the pigs does end up falling, though, to that leftover skunk gas. I Am Not Eating looking for a counterattack here. But that artillery cannon is actually going to buffer him back. I'm always surprised on the range on artillery cannons. They're just so ridiculous. Alright, the fox is here. Let's see some fox micro coming out from Tarugo. Just more and more defense. Tarugo with the barbed wire wall going all the way in. Second base full saturation, though, for green. And red as well, actually. And red's got that snake owl. Very powerful in late game. Tarugo trying to get some harassment done with the fox, but overextends a little bit. The snakes from Cheshire, knocking it out, no problem. This is just very nice to look at on the mini-map. Alright, blue is working on that second base. I'm not eating here. Actually started to pull ahead this game. Getting the 3 bases up and running, but I really like Red's late game comp. You know, the Snake Owl artillery is going to be absolutely devastating. Like, green can get into the wolf, but doesn't really have any units that synergize with the wolf quite nicely. I mean, the wolf buff is good on anything for sure, but you'd definitely rather have it on certain units. All right, Badger on the way for iCarter. These players starting to get into their tier 3s. Tarugo trying to be careful with this Fox, trying to get some shots where he can. Blue taking a third base. We're starting to crunch in here. Like, the action is gonna have to happen here shortly. Like, I doubt green is just gonna sit around and let blue get that third base up and running, you know? Dude, seeing so much Fox tonight, it's making me want to play more. I've been glued into Cyberpunk lately. Need to get back into playing some Tooth and Tail. Stop getting wrecked all the time. Alright, a couple shots here from Tarugo. This artillery doing nice. Oh my god, that Fox just gets deleted by 2 back-to-back shots from the artillery. Poor Tarugo, 0-2 on the Foxes so far. 4th base on the way for green. Like, green has been playing such a great economic game, but I just don't feel like he's really got the composition to scale with it. Let's see, though. Sometimes comp doesn't matter when you've just got overwhelming numbers. Cheshire building the second owl here. Yeah, this artillery is just doing such a good job defending. You know, Cheshire's buffering off Tarugo on the one side, the artillery firing back at I Am Not Eating on the other. The Wolf Warren on the way here for green. Tarugo trying to be so careful with this Fox. No, you gotta run away! Tarugo, no! Another dead Fox here. Oh, but at the same time, blue is crashing in with the Badger as Cheshire is killing another Fox. Will Cheshire be able to get the poison stacks that he needs on the Badger, though? No, iCarter pushing back against both sides there. The Wolf almost here for green. Gonna allow those skunks to get out a ton of gas very, very quickly. Going up to 8 skunks with the wolf buff. Alright, almost all the mills on this map have been taken so far. iCarter trying to find a way to get through that wire there. Let's see, blue starting to crash through. Gonna get pushed back though. Green cleans it up. The Badger goes down. Another Fox here from Tarugo. Will he be able to keep this one alive? Tarugo's economy is starting to go down as these second bases are mining out here. Not quite pulling the Fox back though. Those snakes make quick work of it. Dude, green has so much money, so many farms. I think red and yellow are starting to run out of steam economically, but, I mean, red's got such a powerful army here. 6 snakes and 2 owls. But will that be enough? I mean, when you have this many skunks, you can clean through all those mice very quickly. And all those pigeons help mitigate against the snakes. Tarugo coming in for the backstab here. I feel like Red's always like fighting two armies at once. Alright, the mice pushing in. One skunk does go down, but that's about it. Green with so much money here. This might actually be Green's victory. Let's see. Blue did save up for another Badger. It's coming out now. Starting to get through. It looks like Tarugo is on their last life, but trying to be annoying, trying to come in here and harass Red as much as possible. Now we're just starting to get to an absolute bloodbath. As players are being attacked at multiple fronts at the same time. But Chessire's army has mostly been surviving here. The two owls and the snakes. Losing a couple snakes every now and then, but mostly staying pretty cost effective. Albeit on a very small economy. Blue and green have the best economies going for it right now. The Badger getting the rev. Dude, so much gas coming out. And will green actually win this? Was floating a lot of money earlier, but that's kind of helping them out now. As losing units are quickly replaced, never being supply blocked here. Oh, but at the same time, blue is coming in for the backstab on green. Dude, what if blue, green, and red all kill themselves and yellow wins? Think about that. And yellow's mustering up what they can. Really cool submission here. Green is actually now starving. Blue has managed to clean up most of the mining bases as green has been out and about kind of skirmishing with red, but here comes yellow again. Looking for the backstab, gonna kill that mill. Yellow knows they're probably not gonna win, but gonna try to take red down with them. 3 players in the match are now starving. Mills are starting to fall everywhere. Blue's army is beginning to over-muscle this squirrel, skunk, badger, wolf, or squirrel, skunk, pigeon, wolf combo. Very powerful army, lots of AoE. Yellow starves out there, first one to fall, but doesn't have a lot of burst, and you definitely need that burst or poison in the form of like snakes against badger. 2 wolves here. What? That is weird. Is that a glitch or something? It looked like the wolves weren't really buffing that many units. But green starves out, leaving only red and blue left. Red is on their last leg. Red's got a pretty good army against what blue has to offer here, but red has no opportunities to take another farm. And this looks like it's gonna be a victory for I. Carter. Nicely done. Alright, we got a few more games here tonight. Let's get into match number 10. Alright. Spawning in the bottom, we've got Rattan. And their opponent up top, Big Pimpintosh. Alright, I feel like Rattan's got a pretty try-hard meta deck here. Squirrel, Lizard, Skunk for that early game. Later on, getting into that Snake Owl. Meanwhile, Tosh has one of the Tosh decks. Owl Fox is actually kind of cool. And I do like Squirrel Skunk if you're going to skimp out to get, you know, defenses and stuff. It's a nice core there. Because it's like the Fox will do good against a lot of, you know, all the Tier 2. Do good against most of Tier 3 but the Owl. But hey, if we start getting into an Owl game, Tosh can just start building his own Owls. Tosh doesn't have very good answers against Snake, though. No lizards, but could just try to mass Squirrel. But snakes are units that really... like, it's hard to explain. Like, their weaknesses can be covered quite easily by other units, right? So nothing crazy just yet. Actually, Tosh being a little crazy, establishing some barbed wire here. Just a regular 8-farm double from Raton. No lizards. Actually just going with the squirrels. Ooh, we're gonna go right into a Tier 2. No expansion. We'll go ahead and get out the skunks, probably? No, gonna go for the snake. Alright, meanwhile, Tosh getting that expansion going. Already investing a lot into defense. Probably gonna build a little bit more barbed wire too. Once that second base gets up and has a stronger or larger territory to build in. And off the back of that, it's probably just going to eco really hard on that second base. So maybe Raton could put together a nice little timing to try to break through this before Tosh gets going. But it's difficult. And when your opponent invests this much in turrets, you know, like trying to deal with, or in defense, trying to deal with some of this stuff can be rough. I'm not sure if you're better off just kind of ecoing up, you know, saying, all right, man, have your defense. I'll take that extra, you know, 240 food that I've got or whatever it is and throw it into farms. But another thing is, too, you know, sometimes you're just too afraid of barbed wire. Like, you can just tank through it, right? Like, if Raton just uses the snake to take... Yeah, he's just going to tank through it. And take this fight here. And that balloon's really not helping out. However, Tosh will have enough to clean this all up. Gonna lose the skunk in the process. Yeah, Raton's just going for it. Looking for blood. He's got the snake here. Let's start getting those snake stacks on the mill. Hoping to kill that mill and push Tosh back onto even footing as far as economy goes. Ooh, actually, he gets enough stacks of poison there. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think that was quite enough. It's actually kind of hard to determine that because a new stack of poison refreshes the previous stacks, right? So if you kind of wait in between hits, you actually get more DPS with less stacks. And here comes the owl from Tosh. Rebuilt the mill immediately. Raton doing pretty good in this game so far. You know, not being afraid of that wire, just tanking through it. Trying to take some trades. But also knows he's got to play the eco game a little bit. Doesn't want to fall too far behind Tosh in that regard. Just a single farm queued up for now. Lots of tier 1. Raton hasn't gone in and got a nice deep scout in a hot minute, though. So doesn't know about the owl on the way. Yeah, just going to tank through that. Bring the units back. He actually even doesn't really need to heal, in my opinion. Like, it's always good, but his units didn't really take that much damage there. Alright, meanwhile, on Camp Tosh, just ecoing up, getting more and more barbed wire. First owl's on the way. First owl's not super threatening, though. Really need to get into, like, 2 or 3 owls to be a force to be reckoned with. That's a plan from Tosh, just trying to skimp on building actual units by building the barbed wire here. Very cost-effective defense. Here comes the first owl from Raton. Maybe just kind of conceding, like, you know what, I don't want to take the risk to dive in there. 15 wire from Tosh here. Only 150 food investment, though. It's so crazy to me. That's like barely more than just one tier 1 Warren. Like, all this wire right here is the equivalent of one tier Warren plus a squirrel. A full tier 1 Warren. Owl almost done here from Raton. But neither player really has been able to get back there and scout in a good while. Alright, Tosh gonna go ahead and use this owl that he's got to harass with the mice. Not gonna get a ton done, but hey, killing a squirrel or two. Those add up over time. Full second base economy from Tosh. Meanwhile, Raton is almost there. Raton really invested into aggression early on. Tried to bust this before it got going too hard. Tosh looking around. Always like this kind of move. Just kind of making sure you're not getting played, you know, your opponent doesn't have another base somewhere you're not aware of or anything like that. Alright, both players getting up the owls. Only one owl from Tasha decides to go into Fox rather than build the next owl. Probably not going to be too happy with that decision, though, after seeing the owls here from Berton. And almost gets that. Oh, he actually does get the owl there with the lizards. Nicely done. Lizards always very valuable tier 1 units with that additional movement speed. Really big pickup. And this is starting to look better and better for Raton here. You know, you could use the owl to just delete the barbed wire. These mice will clean all that up eventually. Not even going to wait, though. Just going to go in. Raton thinking he's got overwhelming force at the moment. Meanwhile, Tosh does have the 4 skunks here to help deal with all the mice, to help deal with all the tier 1. But is it enough? So much skunk gas coming in everywhere, just absolutely devastating the entire tier 1 centric force from Tosh. And now the Fox is actually getting a lot of work done. Oh, I was worried there. I thought the Fox got a stack of poison on it, but no, Tosh cleaning everything up. The 4 skunks, you know, really just dealing with the mice in the tier 1 so nicely. And then once that owl went down, the Fox just started to go to town here. Nice game there from the Tosh. Alright, got 2 more matches for you here tonight. Let's go into game number 11. Alright, we got a free-for-all here. In the bottom, we've got this guy. Over on the right, we've got Tosh. Up top, we've got Lego. And over to the left, Mr. Ziggy. Alright, we saw a game with these 4 earlier. Here's another one, I guess, from that gaming session. What's up, everybody in the chat? Have a little balanced discussion. I think there's a lot of strong units at the moment. It's hard to say. I don't play as often as some of the rest of you do nowadays, but I think I'd like to see barbed wire cost more, and I'd like to see snakes not poison commanders. I think those are the balance changes I'd like to see. Alright, what's going on in this game so far? 6 farm toads from Ziggy, let's go. Lots of wire coming down from Lego Man so far. I love this. I don't think this turret is, like, necessary yet, but I totally understand why Tosh would build that. I mean, look at it. It's just asking. Just asking to put a single turret there. Oh, look at this. Man, what is going on in this game? This guy trying to take this proxy mill. Oh, he's building a bunch of proxy warrens. This single mole warren from Lego Man does knock it down, but not before this guy gets 12 warrens out here in the middle of the map. Okay. Tosh is getting a badger. Alright. 8 farm, single turret on this wonderful little spot of high ground. Badger. Expansion. And on the left side, Ziggy trying to get things done. Alright, this guy setting up a mill again. This game's already insane. Tosh, that's an absolutely valid thing to do there. Oh my god, you sold it though. It was so cool. All right, we got the. You had to make money for that boar, you know. 8 farm double tier 3 coming out from Tosh. Lego with the 4 ferrets stuck behind the wire. Got the artillery up and running. Dude, this game is absolute madness. Oh wait, Ziggy coming in on top of Tosh's main over here. Just skipping right by this guy. Is Ziggy and this guy, are they allies again? Alright, this guy knocking out that expansion from Lego yet again, but it's only a matter of time until this base is going to drop. This guy's going to pack it up, go home, sitting on 600 bucks there. Boar, badger, owl. Yes. This game is amazing. Alright, a couple of the tier 3 starting to hatch here from Tosh. There we go. We got the style turret back. Good to see it. See, when Ziggy came through with the lizards, man, if you had that style turret there, you might have. There's too much going on in this game, man. I can't keep up. Trying to look at the chat. We've got some old names in here. Ghost FTW, what's up, man? Tickle Bandit, aka QQ. Alright, what's the third? Alright, Fox is on the way here. So we got the Cavalcade of Tier 3. Another Fox game tonight. You'll love to see it. This guy, just waiting. Just waiting, just plotting. He's sitting over here, just brooding. He's looming, that's what he's doing. Alright, Ziggy. Taking that campfire. I think this guy is actually AFK. He's been sitting there looming for quite some time. Alright, Tosh is gonna send this badger over, not even micro it. Just be like, yeah, it'll work. And there it is. This guy will be eliminated. Oh, all the lizards from Ziggy though, trying to get the badger. They do, regardless of the style turret there. All right, but Lego Band here is actually starting to get up to owls, which are quite dangerous, especially in these sorts of situations. But Boar Badger from Tosh should be able to deal with the owls very effectively, and the Fox should be able to deal with these ferrets once it gets out. However, Lego Man's starting to get some work done here. Ziggy building falcons in the middle of the map because, hey, why not? Ooh, nice pickup there from Ziggy. Gets all of the ferrets. Ooh, Fox off. Ooh, Tosh gonna win the Fox off. Alright, Lego Man can just hold on and get up to the 4 owls. I think that Ziggy's not going to be able to deal with that, but I think Tosh will. Boar's starting to do what the boar does and roast down these mice. The pigeons here giving that high ground vision. Gonna knock out the turret. This looks very deadly here for Lego. The owl's not good against Badger Boar. Meanwhile, Ziggy on the bottom, starting to make way through the main base of Tosh. This is just a ring around the rosy here. Now, Lego Man just needs to attack Ziggy, and the cycle will be complete. Oh, is Tosh gonna get knocked out? He's got that other base. Ooh. Tosh with some good target fire there. Knocks out the opponent's Fox. Gonna very easily clean up the rest of this army. Ziggy looking to be in hot water now as the Owls from Lego move in to clean up the main base here. Ziggy only with a couple of assets left. Ziggy's trying to get up to all those Owls again, but again, I don't think it'll work against what Tosh is bringing to the table here. Tosh gonna go ahead and clean Ziggy up. No, gonna let Ziggy live. More concerned with Lego Man foiling in his plans up here with these mice, but the mice not gonna be able to get through the Badger boar here, especially with all those pigeons. Just gotta be careful with the Fox. The Fox does go down. A couple artillery shots and a little bit of mice there. Knocking it out. Badger moving forward. The artillery is really what's scary here for these tier 3. Tosh manages to knock that down very quickly. But Ziggy in the bottom with the 18 lizards. Looking to win the game. Alright, the Badger chasing down the Owls. Meanwhile, the boar wrecking the base of Lego Man. This looks to be it for Lego Man. And unfortunately for Ziggy, Tosh got Lego Man dealt with a bit too fast for his plan of the lizard backstab attack to really work out. And Tosh is already taking basically every mill he can get his hands on. Do the Badger boar combo. Look at these badasses here. Ready to roll. Look at that. They're even like posed, you know? Both facing different directions. Oh, here comes Ziggy. Tosh regretting not finishing Ziggy off earlier, as Ziggy's now being a thorn in his side. Trying to get up some emergency turrets here to deal with the back end. Now, one problem with Tosh's army is that it's very slow walking around this big wonky map here. Not quite enough lizards, though, from Ziggy to deal with this farm when it's got all the pigs there helping to defend. And Ziggy is gonna get eliminated here from the boar. Alright, what's Lego Man got left? Just desperately trying to rebuild. Tosh in a commanding lead. And I think Tosh just wins from here. He's just got too much eco. Just got the better army here. Fun little game. Super action-packed at the very beginning. That's for sure. Alright, y'all, we got one more tonight. Don't forget, we got the TNT Clan Wars kicking off. Join the Discord. It's underneath the channel you're watching right now. There's a link to it if you're not already in there. Join up with one of the existing clans. Make your own clan. Whatever it is. Keep up with Horus and Kipo for when the actual deadlines are going to be as far as clan generation and finalizing lineups and stuff. Join Clan P-Boot, man. We need more players. We got some good ones on the team, but we don't have very many. And also coming up is QQ's event. He is organizing a tournament where he's going to use decks that he kind of asked around the community, got a bunch of different players' favorite decks, and he's going to kind of throw those in the hat, shuffle them up, and assign them to various participants in the tournament, and they will also be playing on custom maps. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We got a custom map tournament. I love the custom map tournaments. To be honest, I don't think we do that often enough. Like, the RNG maps are really cool. And to be honest, at least from my experience, when you get to like the really top players, you don't see a whole lot of maps being decided by RNG. Sometimes it can matter, though, depending on what kind of strategy you're going for. You know, sometimes you'll have units that'll be useless based on the map or overpowered based on the map. But we actually do have some really cool maps in the custom map, especially from Best Actua NA. Phenomenal map maker. Put out a ton of good ones back in the day, but they still hold up now. So check that out. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not sure if QQ is going to be using those custom maps, or if he's just going to find some good map seeds, or maybe a mix of both. But either way, we got both those events coming up in the scene, guys and gals. As always, keep submitting me replays, ToothandTailTV@gmail.com. I can't do the show without audience participation. That's what this is. Audience participation show. So keep them coming, everybody. And I will keep streaming on Friday nights. Now, one last one here. Let's get into it. Should be a good one. Two very strong players in match number 12. Spawn at the bottom left, we've got Tiki Gray. And up top, Big Pimpintosh. Alright, Tiki Gray. Running a very powerful deck here. You got that Snake Owl combo for the late game. Got the mines. The mines can do a very good job if you place those down well. And kind of surprising your opponent when they think they're going to go into a good engagement. And meanwhile, Tosh running double tier 3 here and more defense, but just committing with that Snake Squirrel. Again, I like the Snake. I think like Squirrel Skunk or Squirrel Snake, something like that makes a lot of sense when you're kind of filling up the other units in your deck with tier 3 and defenses. They're nice core, solid, powerful units in most situations. I think the problem with Tooth and Tail balance is there's a lot of hard counters to things, right? We're a couple people still talking about balance in the chat. So it's a little difficult. It's like this unit can be OP in certain situations, but it's not in others, you know. It's kind of weird, and I think that's what makes it a little bit of an arcade game. Like when you combine the fact that a lot of units have very hard counters in this game with the RNG maps and the fact that you don't get to look at each other's decks beforehand, you can get into situations where things are very powerful, right? But if you take a large enough slew of games versus a large enough slew of compositions, I think it's hard to actually quantify that a specific unit is OP. Like, a specific unit can be OP in certain situations where the opponent doesn't have the right answers for it. And that's where some of the mind games can come in at very high level play. And it's like the last thing you want to do in Tooth and Tail is be predictable, I feel like. You know, if you know what the opponent's up against, or I'm sorry, if you know what your opponent's running, then you can try to get those pieces in your deck that are specifically good against those things. That's just my 2 cents, though. Big eco game coming out from both sides here. Lots of tier 1 from Tiki Gray so far. Tosh again got the wire here, running things down. Tiki gonna force his way through, though, as we saw Rattan do previously. And I do like this approach to barbed wire. You know, I feel like, myself included, you know, we try to get overly fancy against these kinds of things. But, you know, especially when you build a lot of wire, like, spread out throughout the place, you know, you come in and where there's a point of weakness, and it's like, all right, if I hit right here, I'm only actually dealing with, like, 2 pieces of wire. Nice snake tags there on some of the mines. But big fat 2 base saturation for both sides. Already getting into some owls on both sides as well. And let's see. This map is a bit favored for Tosh. He's got an extra mill on his side of the base, but Tiki will have access to 3 bases. Most of the time, that is just fine. But we'll see. If the game goes on too long, that'll definitely be a significant advantage here for Tosh. And Tosh already building into the snakes as well. Boar actually is pretty popular, Miss Zins in the chat. It is a really good answer to Boar. I'm sorry, to Owl. And we have seen that quite a bit in some high-level play. But the idea with Owl Snake is, like, the Boar or the Badger will do well against the Owl, right? So you have the Snakes to deal with those units respectively. Man, we are just in a big macro game to end the night out here. Double Owls from both sides, 3 bases from both sides, and yeah, this might be one of those situations where that 4th mill on Tosh's side of the map makes a big difference. Tiki should understand that, though, and realize in the long run, Tosh will have the extra mill and try to adjust the game plan to deal with that here. And against all these Owls, Tier 1 is less and less efficient. They'll be selling those off in lieu of more Snakes and Owls here. But this defensive position from Tosh is a tough nut to crack. You know, Tosh really skimping down on those Tier 1 and Tier 2 choices here to fit in this barbed wire and turret. And the barbed wire and turret is just doing such a good job against the mice. You know, the barbed wire, traditionally we think, well, barbed wire is terrible against mice, but when you have this kind of setup here where the barbed wire is helping the turrets kind of tank against the mice and ensure that the turrets live, now this is a big problem for Tiki. Because it's really difficult to break this position. There's not much option to attack elsewhere. I wonder if Tiki will consider coming up this way. There is a few paths to get through here. But it's definitely easier said than done. Both players going up to 5 Owls. Tosh actually deciding to get rid of the Snakes. That is kind of funny. It is interesting, right? Like, Snakes against other Owls. I mean, obviously, if you can get the Snake tags on the Owls, that's nice, but all those mice there attacking the Snakes, I can kind of see why you want to go down on those a little bit, but 7 Owls on the way here for Tiki. Getting those Skunks in there as well to help mitigate against the opponent's mice. The Wolf on the way from Tosh. Both players actualizing these big late game compositions. Just more and more, but I think Tosh is eventually going to win this in the long run because that additional mill on his side of the map. But more importantly, I really think it's because of the defense, right? Like, if it wasn't for all this defense here, Tiki would be able to put up more of a fight. But since Tosh, you know, split the map off and put this defense in the main choke here, you know, and it was really the sacrifice that Tosh decided to make at the deck selection screen. You know, skimping out on things like that second Tier 1, like that second Tier 2. And maybe, again, like, specifically against Tiki. I mean, Tiki does definitely have more playstyles, but, you know, likes to use the Owl Snake. Also likes to do a lot of Tier 3 list decks. So many Snakes coming out here from Tosh, though. You really see the economic difference starting to play through. I don't think Tiki is really losing much in these engagements. I think it's mainly the mice that are getting mowed down. It's just a constant bloodbath here in the center. And this might actually just be one of those games that came down to the 4th base. And I think it's because, you know, Tiki decided to take it to the late game. It's just ridiculous to watch. We have 14 owls, 13 snakes on the board. 9 owls, though, from Tiki. Maybe he'll start to bust through this slowly but surely. Not trying to get any snake tags or anything. Both players more concerned about making sure their owls don't overextend up, rather than trying to get the tags on the opponent's units. That Wolf actually did get some tags on it, though, and Tiki is busting through. The units of Tosh are slowly going down, and just the overwhelming force of the 9 owls here actually busts through the defense with the skunk support. Oh my god, dude, look at all those mice. Owls are insane. GG. Yeah, the skunks, man. Good call from Tiki to get those skunks in there. Look at that. It just happened so fast. Like, it was so even for the longest time, and then just bam. Alright, everybody, that is it for the show tonight. Yeah, 9 owls versus the 5, too. Yeah, I do agree. I think there's too many snakes on Tasha's side. But don't forget, everybody, keep sending me replays, ToothandTailTV at gmail.com. And if you want more Tooth and Tail coverage on Sunday, the TNT Clan Wars will be happening at 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock CST. I don't know the guy's Twitch handle. I think he's new to the scene, maybe new to streaming. So just keep your eye on the Tooth and Tail category. You should see him go live at those times of the weekend. Tickle Bandit, aka QQ, is also putting together another event. This is going to be a pretty fun one where you get assigned another player's favorite deck, and you use that on custom maps against your opponents. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that is it, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful time. It's always a pleasure hanging out with the scene on Friday nights. And that is it. You're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. I will see y'all on Friday, and tune into Tooth and Tail on Sunday for some more action. And by the way, if you weren't aware, the preseason 2021 Cup is over. You can check out the finals of the main playoff here in my VODs. You can check out the finals of the lower playoffs on Tiki Gray's channel, twitch.tv/TikiGray. That's it. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. And by the way, next Friday is Christmas, so I won't be streaming. So have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays if you're just secular and enjoy your time off. So yeah, we won't be doing next week. Maybe I'll sneak in, cover some Clan Wars, maybe stream some Ranked or something. But I probably won't be streaming on Christmas Day. So that's it. See you, everybody.